It is November 1st, 2023, Fed Day. You know, and this time, when the Fed meets, it's not that big of a deal. Nobody's all, oh, is the Fed going to raise? Oh, are they going to stop? They're going to pause? They're going to lower? What are they going to do? It's kind of a big nothing burger today. People are like, no big deal, the Fed's meeting. We don't expect them to do anything. Wouldn't that be funny if they did, though? An emergency rate cut, doubt it. What if they raised rates one more time? The markets would be, oh, why are they raising rates? Oh, no. I saw that a couple of stats. Cars, automobiles. There's a lot in the news about automobiles with the strikes, and those seem to be getting revolved. Kind of revolving dead. It's just revolving. Nothing gets fixed in the revolving door. But getting resolved as far as the union, the UAW strikes with the big three automakers. I still can't get over. Stellantis, I guess, is the one. Used to be Dodge, Chrysler, all that. But with the big three, it looks like the UAW is going to settle, and it's something like over the course of 4 years-ish, you know, they're going to get like a 25% raise. But you go back and look at 2008, 2009, when the government came in and bailed out some of these big automakers, there were some pay cuts that happened back then. So really, they're probably not even, if it were accounted for inflation, I know they're not ahead, even with a 25% increase. Especially in the next 3 to 4 years, 25% increase isn't going to be anything if we start hyperinflating. And if you look at the chart, that kind of looks like what's happening with the monetary supply being created. Pretty soon, it's like this right now. You know, it kind of went, and then this, and then this, and so we're kind of at this level. Watch it go this level. Everything becomes unaffordable. But I saw that 6%, 6.11%, according to Zero Hedge, over 6% of people are now over 60 days late on their car payments. And it's repo time, baby. The repo man's coming. So you're going to have a lot of these cars getting repossessed. Why? Because you look what happened during the pandemic. You couldn't get automobiles. And then the ones you could get, they're putting them over sticker. Over the outrageously priced, ridiculous sticker price that's already on these vehicles. They're selling them for $5,000, $10,000 over sticker. You shouldn't buy a car unless it's $5,000 to $10,000 under sticker. But everything changed. And so people, you know, they lock in these rates at 6 years, sometimes 7 years. I think they even go 8 years on car loans now. Absolutely ridiculous. That should be what the term of a home loan, not a car loan. And, you know, they're underwater. You know, they get a $1,000 a month payment on a car, and then you're like, wait a minute, I got it. I'm paying this, and then you look at, well, shoot, I overpaid for it in the car now, sitting on the lots cheaper than that. Well, how did I get screwed? Well, then you go and try and get the loan for the car sitting on the lot, and interest rates are up. The Fed has made it more difficult to access counterfeit money, because that's what it is. They counterfeit the money, and they charge you interest on it. Think about it. They create it out of nothing. You ever see that? You know, they'll have the news stories. It'll show, well, the Federal Reserve meets today, and they'll show like the money getting printed up, the $100 bill stacks, you know, big thick stacks on the news. It doesn't ever compute with you that, wait a minute, this is the money, and they're just creating it when they need to. The Fed said they're going to create, or the Treasury said today, we're going to create $120 billion. Okay, this is what we're going to issue. These bonds or treasuries, you know, just create it out of nothing. To fund ourselves, we need to create the money. And so you watch it getting created, and you think, so you're telling me you're going to create this out of nothing, and you're going to give me some of it, and I have to pay it all back with interest so that I can buy this overpriced car, so that I can go to work and get all my taxes taken out to pay you some more, and then that money that's left over, I get to go pay sales tax on everything I buy after that. So if I'm going to buy the car, I get to pay sales tax on that. All the food that I get, everything. Oh, and then you're going to charge me property tax, you know, even if I own my home, which I don't, because, you know, I got to pay a 30-year debt clock mortgage that was created out of nothing, that money. So I get to pay that back. Okay, makes sense. oh, wait, homeowner's insurance, I have to insure it, so if anything happens to it, you're covered, because actually, you've got the first lien on it, you own it. I really don't own it. So what do you end up with? Very important to any scrap that you might have, put that into something that's outside that tax debt-based system, in your own pocket, that you can use it when the whole thing collapses, because it's pretty obvious it can't go on forever. There's no way this Ponzi vampire casino can continue. It is a total scam for all the reasons I just pointed out, and many more. Anyway, you got 6.11% of the people cannot make their car payments, haven't made their car payments in over 60 days. And that is the highest it's been since, it bumped up against that 6% level a few times leading up to the pandemic and during the pandemic, but it hasn't been this high since something like 1994 or 5. So, yeah, what could go wrong? Yeah, we'll just get some cars on auction, I guess. Be prepared if you've got any cash, which I'm sure you don't, because, as I said before, all the reasons, you're getting bled out by the vampires in this vampire casino. So, fun and games, gotta love it. America. America, baby. America first. Yeah, bankers first. Vampire casino first. That's more like what it is. All right. So there's that. I turn this off, even though it's like, 26 degrees Fahrenheit. Car's going off. I'll sit in the cold. Don't care. It's warm in here anyway since I fixed the heat. All right. Glasses off. Oh, yes. So much better. I always do this. Take my glasses off. I'm like, I feel my face. Okay. And so you got that going on. What else is happening today? In the Middle East. All right, I'm going to bring this up briefly. But you've got the Israelis saying, hey, we're going to bomb Gaza. You need to move to a safe location. Go south. Go to a safe zone. Okay, so first of all, if you're telling people to move and saying, hey, get out of this area, we're going to bomb it, because we're looking for terrorists, of course. We're going to bomb this area. Why would the terrorists stay? It doesn't make any sense to me. If you're telling them what you're going to do and saying, hey, you all need to evacuate because we're going to kill all the terrorists that are in this area. Now, if you're a terrorist, are you going to be hanging out in that area? Doesn't make any sense. But you got to realize the water's been cut off, electricity's been cut off since, roughly October 7th or a little after. You got people there who, you're basically starving them out. What kind of conditions are they living in at this point? You're going to have very unsanitary conditions. You're going to have a lot of sickness. You're going to have a lot of disease. You've created an environment now that's just becoming a cesspool. And it really is. If you don't have clean water, that's how people die. And people think, well, since we've had vaccines, we've cured all these things. No, proper hand washing and water that's not infected has a big say in all that. More so than anything, I would argue, in keeping people healthy. So there's that. Yeah, the whole thing doesn't make sense. But we've got funding. What is it, like $13.5 billion that's going to be funded. They're going to be voted on to be funded directly to Iran. See, I always say that because it's a Freudian slip. Because we funded Iran and gave them pallets full of cash, freed up $6 billion for 5 hostages, people, they were prisoners they were holding. You built the fire with all the kindling, you put the fuel on it, all we needed was a match. Well, they provided the match. It's just that simple. So, we fund both sides of the wars. I've said it many times. So you've given all this energy, all this firewood to Iran, who is supposedly behind Hamas. And now you have what happens in Israel. Look what Hamas did. Oh, and then now we got to fund Israel on the other side of it. It's such a frickin', if you can't see through it, you got to keep looking. Open your eyes a little bit, because that's what's happening. Follow the money. Understand where the money is coming from and where it's going. This doesn't happen by chance. It doesn't happen. You don't see poor nations, engaging in, massive level terrorist operations. They don't have the money if they're not funded. They can't. It's all terrorism is state sponsored. All right. That's basically what it comes down to. Yeah, you got your little terrorist acts. But, well, what about that shooter in this place? Well, I argue that's state-sponsored too, because it goes back to the pharmaceutical industry. These people are not of sober mind when they pull the trigger and kill a bunch of people. I guarantee, probably every time, but the vast majority of the times of these people that go out, these active shooter incidents where they do these things, I guarantee they're on some sort of pharmaceutical that probably, might cause delusions. You might hear voices. Yeah, you might have suicidal thoughts. You might want to kill other people. Might have violent behavior. Ask your doctor if it's right for you. Man, we are a nation of drug addicts. Speaking of drug addicts, we've got 5,000 apparently-ish, 5,000 pharmacists walked out of CVS and Walgreens pharmacies. Oh, it was yesterday or the day before. Who knows? I don't know, because I don't go to the pharmacy. Pharmacia. I don't engage in that kind of stuff. But that's probably a big hit for our addicted, pharmaceutically addicted society. Pharmaceutical industrial complex, they got us hooked on all this stuff. Oh, well, you need to take this because your blood pressure's too high. Oh, you need to take this because you're too fat. Oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. Well, maybe some of it's self-inflicted. A lot of it is because we made bad decisions. And so now, we need to take a pill. Might need to take a pill to fix it. There are other ways to try and fix it, but usually we don't do that because it's, well, my insurance covers it, I'll go get these pills. If I had to pay for it myself, it'd be $400 a month, but my insurance covers it, so it's only $10. Yeah, I'll go get it. Until the pharmacist isn't there. Oh my gosh, now what do I do? Now you got a crisis in the pharmacological supply chain. Can't even say it. Pharmacia supply chain. And I can't get my drugs. What am I going to do? And we're worried about fentanyl. Fentanyl. Everyone, oh my God, fentanyl. It's coming across the border, this and that. You got every little town has a little pharmacy, or it's close by. Every Walmart's got a pharmacy in it. And there's always somebody waiting to get drugs. I mean, we're a nation of addicts. We're completely addicted. And the thing is, when you come off of this stuff, so you get on it and it may help, but if it has side effects, you're like, oh, well, causes nausea. Well, let me give you this anti-nausea drug. Okay, so now you're taking that drug. Well, that causes, bleeding somewhere inside your body. Well, you got to take this drug to combat the, don't want you hemorrhaging out. And so it's just compounds and compounds. And some of these things, you can't wean yourself off of them. If you do, you have massive side effects. I mean, but it's by design. It's by design to keep you hooked on these things. Again, another vampire casino. That's simply just trying to bleed you out for every drop that you have until there's nothing left. And then it's just like they do in Canada. Well, you can't pay for your drugs. Oh, your insurance won't cover it. Oh, you've met your limit. Time to go to the med bed. Well, this med bed is not the med bed you think of. It's the dead bed because they put you to sleep. Well, maybe it's your time to check out. You've had a good life. You don't want to be a burden on society anymore. You should exit gracefully. Meanwhile, these people are living in multi-million-dollar mansions, flying around and, not even caring about their carbon footprints, laughing at you, abusing you, raping and pillaging you, vampiring every ounce of energy that you have left, and they smile at you and cackle at you because, I'm you peasant. Peasant. That's all you are. It's a peasant. Be gone with you. Whole thing's a scam. It's all set up to rob you of your energy because you're the only thing with the energy. They don't have anything. They're all vampires, and vampires have no energy. They need to feed off you and gain energy psychically, spiritually, for real. I don't want to say literally, physically. Everybody says literally. Literally, this is what happened. Okay, just tell me what happened. You don't have to say literally this happened. This happened. Hey, there's a car crash. There's a literal car crash. Oh, I thought it was a figurative car crash. Maybe it was in your mind. It was like a metaverse car crash. Literally, there was a car crash, dude. Literally, we're living through a train wreck, dude. Figuratively. All right. Enough of my rambling. Today's Wednesday. It is the first day of November. October 31st yesterday, Halloween. It was brutal, windy, cold. Oh my gosh, it's just not a good day. Today it's sunny and no clouds yet. It's supposed to rain this weekend. Yeah, a little bit later, so they won't be, I won't have any X's in the sky today, but in a couple of days I probably will. They'll be flying over because there might be a chance of rain, and, you know, we're going to checkerboard pattern all over the sky. But today I'm going to enjoy the bright blue, beautiful, sunny day. That is November 1st. All right, that's Westwood Wambling on a Wednesday. I love y'all. I really do. And I hope you see through all this craziness. I hope you see through all the illusion, and that's all it is. It's just these, you know, theater actors, these parlor magicians up there. Give me a break. It's all a scam. Don't fall into it, okay? Take your energy and put it somewhere else. Because if you put it in the frickin' vampire casino, the Federal Reserve notes, they're going to inflate it away. They're going to bleed you dry. Get out of it while you can. Not telling you where to put it. I'm saying there are some things that you can look at. You can look at gold. You can look at silver. You can look at storable food. You can look at heirloom seeds. You can look at Litecoin. You can look at different things that resonate with you. But find something that you have in your possession that has some sort of wealth that you can use at a later date when this whole thing falls apart. Because it will. Don't know when, but it will. Better to have it, not need it not have it. All right. Have a wonderful Wednesday. I love you all. Always, always trust yourself. Don't trust these vampires. All they want to do is deceive and bleed. All right. Have a wonderful Wednesday.